I was speechless when my unfaithful wife walked in holding my best friend's hand and said, "You're the ideal husband. He's my passion. Together, we're complete. Let's be a happy throuple." I glared at them and said, "You're dead to me now." That was the day my cold-blooded payback began. Chapter 1. A Nightmare Wearing a Smile. What would you do if the woman you married showed up, fingers laced with your lifelong friends, and casually invited you to be a spectator in your own relationship? Not kidding. That's exactly how I uncovered the twisted betrayal between my so-called wife and my so-called best friend. They weren't ashamed. They weren't even nervous. They were hopeful, hoping I'd nod, smile, and bless their unholy union like some clueless fool. They misjudged me, thought I was too good-natured to push back, that I'd roll over and let them redefine my life while patting them on the back. But they forgot a key fact. Even the kindest men burn when betrayed. And once that fire starts, it doesn't stop, it consumes. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I stared them both down and calmly uttered the words that cracked their fantasy. "You're dead to me now." And just like that, I shifted from being their comfort zone to their worst mistake. Chapter 2. Silence, Surveillance, Strategy. When they left that night, pretending they hadn't just detonated my world, I stayed still. No yelling, no distractions, just the steady tick of the clock and the hollow emptiness of a home turned hostile. I thought back to every joke Ethan and I had shared, every promise Claire whispered in the dark. And now, they wanted me to play the supportive side character in their sick little sitcom? No. Instead of breaking down, I took mental notes. If I reacted emotionally, they'd play the victim. But if I stayed calculated, they'd never see the storm creeping in. Step 1. Gather ammo. By the next morning, I was in full tactical mode, dug into our shared phone plan, and retrieved every sync message. Installed discrete screen recording on Claire's work laptop. Snapped pics of Ethan's car parked near our place during work hours. Created a digital vault. Named it Ethan and Claire. Receipts, a tidy little archive of betrayal, complete with dates, screenshots, and GPS logs. Not for me. For the mutual friends they'd try to gaslight when things hit the fan. Step 2. The mirror phase. 3 weeks went by. They thought I was adapting. Claire even kissed my cheek one morning and said, "You're being so mature about all this." Ethan messaged, "You're the real MVP, man. Mad respect." I stayed silent, because while they toasted their new beginnings, I was building their endgame. What they didn't know, I'd already shifted all joint funds to a private account, met with an attorney, and scheduled an off-the-record lunch with Claire's boss, a sharp, no-nonsense executive who I knew wouldn't tolerate one of her top managers using company time to cheat. Chapter 3. The Perfect Setup. They say vengeance is best enjoyed cold. Mine? It was frozen solid, plated with precision, and garnished with poetic justice. Claire and Ethan had no clue their fairy tale was sitting on a time bomb. The corporate strike. Claire's firm was elite, high-profile real estate with strict ethics protocols and zero tolerance for internal misconduct. So when I accidentally looped her regional head into an email chain containing screenshots of hotel bookings labeled client dinner that aligned with her meetups with Ethan, calendar entries that said Zoom call W, Italy alongside massage with E, a picture of Ethan shirtless, using Claire's company laptop at our table. It triggered immediate action. HR moved fast. Claire's access was revoked. Her employment placed under formal review for misuse of company assets. That night, she stormed in, furious, not remorseful, but offended. How could they do this to me? It was just personal stuff. I didn't flinch, just looked up from my book and replied, "Maybe they figured your lover wasn't part of the business package." Ethan's downfall came quicker than expected. His position at the local bank, once the badge of his smug confidence, wasn't as solid as he boasted. I had quietly submitted an anonymous report to HR, complete with footage of him trash-talking clients while sipping beer in my backyard during work hours. They fired him. No warnings. No severance. "You broke confidentiality," he screamed into my voicemail. Who the hell did this to me? I didn't respond. I just observed the wreckage from afar. The final blow? Our mutual friends. That weekend, I organized a small cookout. Just the guys from our college days. Most of them still assumed Claire and I were patching things up. Before they could be misled by her version of events, I laid out the evidence. Screenshots. Her absurd suggestion for a poly lifestyle. Ethan's smug reply. He'll go for it. He's too soft to fight back. I didn't embellish a thing. The truth was poisonous enough. By Monday, Ethan's phone was silent. And Claire? She messaged me at 1:04 a.m. What are you doing to us? I didn't answer, because I wasn't doing anything. I was just holding up a mirror. Chapter 4, The Exit Wound. By the time Claire realized what was unfolding, the damage was already done. Tiny, precise wounds inflicted by truths she tried to suppress. Her job? Suspended. Her friend group? Fractured. Her so-called soulmate? Jobless and furious, blaming her for fallout. And now, the part she never anticipated, the divorce. I left the papers on the counter in a neat manila envelope. Inside, a notarized petition citing irreconcilable differences, a full breakdown of assets, already legally shifted thanks to quiet prep months in advance, and a non-disparagement clause stiff enough to bankrupt her if broken. I knew she'd read it multiple times, and I knew she'd see the date at the bottom. The day she first slept with Ethan. Her reaction? No tears, no outburst, just that fake client service composure. You planned this, she said. I met her gaze. You made the first move. I just finished the game. She tried to salvage it, suggested a talk, privacy, even a second chance. But by then it was too late. You don't get to torch everything and then ask to rearrange the rubble. Ethan called once. Only once. We messed up, man. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I hesitated before ending the call. It didn't go anywhere, Ethan. I just stopped holding the leash. Clean exit. By the week's end, I'd left the city behind. Bought a quiet spot upstate near the lake. Started the consulting business I'd always shelved while backing Claire's dreams. Now, I woke up to birdsong, not lies. To quiet, not second-guessing. And in that stillness, I discovered something better than revenge. Peace. Chapter 5, The Scar That Speaks. Most think revenge ends when the storm passes. But the real ending is what comes after. The silence that no longer suffocates you. The scar you revisit when someone says, "You've changed." 9 months out, I rise before my alarm. I eat slower. I read more. Sometimes I think of Claire, not with anger, just a dull recognition. Like noticing an old scar. You don't flinch anymore. You just remember who cut you. Ethan vanished from our friend circles. Most blocked him. Someone mentioned he moved in with his older brother. Another said he started drinking again. I didn't look into it. Because the truth? I just don't care anymore. And that's not apathy. That's closure. What the scar taught me. Claire once called me safe. Said I was too calm. Too boring. But calm doesn't mean weak. And men like me? We don't explode. We dismantle cleanly, legally, and thoroughly. That's the difference between a nice guy and a wise one. A nice guy trusts. A wise one keeps receipts. Final reflection. If you're reading this after betrayal by a partner, a friend, or both, listen closely. Don't set fire to what was. Build something stronger. And build it somewhere they'll never be welcome. Because revenge, it's not about ruining them. It's about ensuring the version of you they tried to break becomes untouchable. Ever been betrayed by someone you trusted completely? Let them feel your absence. Let them drown in your silence. Like this story if you've emerged stronger. Comment if you've turned betrayal into fuel. And subscribe to Lauren Stories, where vengeance isn't noisy, it's surgical. Because here we don't just tell tales. We expose the lies. And we resurrect the truth.